You wouldn't sell if you thought things were going to go back up. And so when I see people panicking and even more so, acting on that panicked feeling, that intense vulnerability, ironically, they're telling me things are going to get better very soon. That
Can you say that one more time? Even just that last
yeah.
statement, because my wheels are turning right now. This is fascinating, Peter.
So when I see groups of people panicking in expectation that things are only going to get worse, I look at that and say, no, things are going to turn around here very soon because everybody feels this way. They're acting on those feelings
Yes.
and they're misreading that the worst is really behind us. And I use this with investors. I use this, people look at things like civil war as making things worse. It's like, no, no, no. Civil war is what happens after people feel bad. That to me is a sign of that we should be optimistic, not pessimistic. So we make these horrible decisions. If as I particularly in lows of confidence, our natural impulsive decisions tend to be generally very poor. We hurt ourselves, we hurt others. And if you can just look at the panic that you're feeling, that intense vulnerability, that intense uncertainty and intense powerlessness as an objective condition, rather than falling victim to it, you can step back from it to say, oh, I'm rapidly approaching a low in confidence. This is not a time I should act out of despondence, but rather just breathe and allow myself to get through this moment because it will pass.
Are there a few steps that we can employ that allow us to do that reframe quickly? And I might be alluding to the confidence quadrant.
Yep.
And if we are, you can take us right there. But what you just said and what you have said, I think is groundbreaking, actually, and can move us into better decision making. But I'll let you drive the bus.
Yeah, so I think some of it is to say, what are small things I can do right now to take control of my life, to feel more certain? One of them is asking for help. And many people, when they're feeling stressed, think that asking for help is demonstrating weakness. To me, that's a mistaken interpretation. Asking for help is taking control of the situation. It's taking a deliberate step to gain control of what's happening, to regain certainty. So we should never be afraid to ask for help. We should, in fact, deliberately seek help, particularly from those we trust or those who are capable, and those who may be able to empower us, to help us, to give us the skills and abilities that we need to move ahead. One of the quickest ways I know to regain certainty and control in your life is to volunteer, and to volunteer with others in service of others. It sounds really silly, but if I'm doing something good for somebody else, I'm demonstrating to myself that I have certainty and control in something. So I always tell my students during exam week, I said, I know this is going to sound like you don't have time for this, that this is a silly thing to do, but get out of your head and do something nice for somebody else. That will remind you amid this chaos that you're feeling otherwise, that you know what? I do have certainty in something. I do have control of something, and I'm demonstrating it.